The woman was given a chance for a free shopping spree. For the next 10 minutes, everything she put into her cart would be completely free. But the thing she herself wanted, she didn't take a single one. Instead, she went straight to the refrigerated section and loaded up on the steaks that kids love. Next came all kinds of canned goods. And finally, she picked out imported fruits. When the countdown ended, the woman left with a cart full of groceries. But when he saw the freezer packed full of food, the husband wasn't happy at all. He began throwing the food onto the floor, one item after another. The rest of the family was already used to behavior like this. The woman asked her husband to put the food back. Instead, the husband angrily threw the food right out the door. Right after that, he grabbed the canned goods on the table, turned around, and threw them out too. Even then, the woman didn't say a word. She quietly picked up the food from the floor and closed the refrigerator. Her husband stood off to the side, eating a can of food by himself. In fact, there was a reason he ended up this way. When they were first married, the woman had a bright future as a writer, and her husband had the voice of an angel. He was a gifted singer, but an accident damaged his airway, and from that point on, he could never sing on stage again. To make a living, he had no choice but to work at a factory, where he became a stamping press operator. The woman never gave up on him, and stayed by his side. Together, over the years, they raised 10 children. Life was tight, but still relatively happy. At the time, TV shows often held contests asking viewers to write advertising slogans. The woman would send in her original taglines, and she often won various prizes. But even with these prizes and her husband's meager wages, they still couldn't afford the rent. The kids said the landlord gave them 3 weeks to move out. When the husband heard this, he wasn't worried at all. He told the kids, "Don't worry, your mom will find a way." A stroke of luck arrived. 2 men in suits showed up at their door. They came to give the woman an award. The prize was a bicycle, $5,000 in cash, and a full set of home appliances. This was the biggest prize she had won so far. Just like that, the crisis they were facing was resolved. Neighbors came over to celebrate, but inside, her husband was filled with shame and self-doubt. He felt like he didn't matter in this family at all. The woman used the prize money to make a down payment through a real estate agency. After moving into their new home, she proudly showed off the big fridge to her husband, dreaming out loud about one day filling it to the brim. But the husband dismissed it with a look of contempt. In reality, it was more a reflection of his deep insecurity. After all these years, other than drinking, he had contributed almost nothing to the family. That night, the soccer team the husband supported lost the match. He became completely hysterical. Not only did he scream at the neighbors, he also took out his anger on the fridge the woman had brought home. His behavior drew the attention of the police. Once they arrived, he snapped back to normal. After the police left, the husband made her a cup of tea, his way of offering an apology. Later, the priest came by to mediate. The woman hoped the priest would talk her husband out of drinking, but the priest said her husband was carrying too heavy a burden, and that's why he drank to numb the pain, and he urged the woman to keep pushing forward. At that moment, she realized, there's no use relying on anyone but herself. The next morning,